show's gripping introduction and the ominous music at the very beginning, which I can still hear in my head. Don't try to play it back. Just go home and YouTube it. It's unmistakably peculiar voice of Mr. Moon. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TransAtlantic. That's Carl. I'm Patrick, the Swede and the American, and we're set to talk to you for a little while in our podcast. We thank you for joining us. And Carl, what's going on, brother?
First, I would like to ask you, who is the guy on your messenger picture? I've been wondering that for a long time.
It's this. All right, all right. So this dude. He did this little like I think it was just like an internet series, like it wasn't an actual show. But
Hmm.
he did these clips, and he's just this goofball, and the name of the show is Chet or Chit,
Yeah,
Chit, which is not a
yeah,
typical nickname. And
yeah,
anyway, so yeah, there's just a couple little episodes, and it's dumb, and I don't know, I thought it'd be funny, because
yeah, yeah. Because
uh,
he has been hanging in for a while now, and I
he
thought to
has.
myself, one of these days I just have to ask who that is.
As people tell me often,
Yeah.
they're like, I don't like to be normal, and I'm getting ready to change it again, but just to make people go, "What's that?"
You see this shirt here, Blood Crown?
Ooh, yes, I
Oh,
like that.
yes, yes, that I bought at the first ever Blood Crown gig this weekend that passed.
Okay, okay, is that what was that at?
Jönköping, it's a city in Småland. You should check it out on the map.
Okay,
I'll spell it for you in the messenger because it
yeah,
has the weird letters for you.
I like it. No, I do. Every time you send me a city or a township or
Yeah,
something, I always like checking it out. So thank you. Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
Uh,
Well,
it,
how's you sent me a really good passage of scripture. And
yeah.
I thought
Well,
that
it's
was,
not scripture. It's per se. I mean, it's not
oh, no,
canon,
you're not
right?
today.
Yeah,
Today you sent me something
uh,
else, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, what was it that
So
you sent me today? Let me
it's
pull
from
that
the
up.
Didache. It's a
There it
very,
is.
very, very, very early Christian book from the hundreds, and it's seen as the first catechism in Christianity.
Would you like me
So
to read it?
yeah, yeah, I would like you to read it.
Okay.
So it's the path of life and the path of death for
Okay.
starters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. You sent it to me in two small messages. I'll just read it. Doctrine of the
yeah.
gospel, let every apostle who cometh unto
No, no,
you,
no. That go back before that.
but not every one who speaketh.
No, before that. Didn't I send you the path of death? No, the path of life
Oh,
and the path of death.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was last week.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I've refilled today. I, because I found a place where you just saw the beginning of it and then you had to pay. So so
Well, why
that's
don't
the
you?
first. Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what, because the script is too small. I don't have my glasses with me. So, tell me, tell us the backdrop of this.
Well, it's pretty much. The book is also called The Teachings of the Apostles. It's very early, and it's like pretty much a manual for Christian life.
Okay, now how?
And and it has this contrasting the way of life and the way of death. But since we don't have all that time, and since it's too small, let's go for the ones you were reading in the beginning because that's from the same book, and it's kind of interesting, given how Christianity looks in the West today.
Yeah, yeah, you
With
got it.
televangelists and stuff. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you got it. So let me read this. So it comes to doctrine of the gospel. Let every apostle who comes unto you be received as the Lord. He will remain one day, and it will be necessary a second. But if he remained 3 days, he is false prophet. And let the
That's
apostle,
hard.
right,
If he
exactly.
stays three, if he stays 3 days,
Three
he's a false
days.
prophet. Yeah, that's like
He comes
he
one
can stay
day,
one
he's
day, maybe
yeah,
two,
yeah, he can
never
chill.
three.
He can
Yeah,
chill, never three. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, and then let the apostle, when departing, take nothing but bread until he arrive at his resting place. But if he asks for money, he's a false prophet.
yeah. It's not just let's not just bother about if he his doctrine or anything. If he asks for money, he's a false prophet.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and that
Yeah,
really
isn't it?
well, it squirts in the face, man. Of I don't know if that's the right words to
Yes.
choose, but it really goes on to the prosperity gospel. It's clearly something that they should all be
Yeah.
reading these days. How
So
much?
and
Let me ask you something before we go any further.
yeah,
How much is the prosperity gospel or the health and wealth doctrine? Um, has it found its a little bit of a home in Sweden, or no, not so much?
well, there are congregations like that, but it's
Okay.
not, it's not like the machine you have over there, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are churches in that vein, but it's not as big. And
Okay.
also, it has in some places it may also have been seeping into other congregations like Pentecostals and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in in a lot of the Pentecostal churches or charismatic churches, not all, a lot of them is where it found its root. The notion of experiential, I can't even say the word, experientialism, where you're going to church to get an experience, to get a feeling. It all
yeah,
kind of ties together. Whereas you should be approaching church reverently to worship God, and
yeah.
they'll say that they do, but it's not always about that. All right, let me
So,
continue with
but
this.
I mean, it makes it very easy for us. If you ask for money, it's a false prophet.
If he
Okay,
asks for
so
dough, if he stays for three
yeah,
days,
so
yeah, it's
but
like a
if not,
revival.
yeah, you also have I mean, you have the parts in the Bible about the worker is worth his pay and all that stuff.
Yeah,
This is not contradicting that. This is a traveling preacher
yeah,
because
absolutely.
later it comes like, but if someone wants to settle down with you, yeah, I mean, be your pastor or something, it's a totally different case. And then they're
A-
going to be
Amen.
financed by the tithings of the people because it's worth his pay. But uh, this is how we treat those,
Absolutely.
traveling preachers. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
leave.
those the
Let
revivals, they were called
Yeah,
revivals. I'm not talking about the revival like you throw up a tent and people come
yeah,
to it. Those are certainly existent. I'm talking about the ones
yeah,
where you bring in these traveling evangelists
yeah,
and they stay Friday,
yeah,
Saturday, Sunday, and
yeah.
it's just
But
a joke that
only Friday and Saturday in this case, because on the third day is a false prophet.
well,
Yeah,
then they stay at third. If they stayed 3 days, we already know that they were. All right, let's read on. But
yeah,
not everyone who speaks in the Spirit is a prophet. But he is so, but he is so who has the disposition of the Lord. By their disposition, they therefore shall be known, the false prophet and the prophet, and every prophet who ordereth in the Spirit that a table shall be laid, shall not eat of it himself, but if he do otherwise, he is a false prophet.
yeah. You can. This is kind of the same thing, right? Like you could order food for someone else, but not for yourself, because then you're a leech.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
can't say,
exactly.
"Thus saith the Lord, feed that guy over there," but you can't say, "Thus saith the Lord, feed me, please, I'm hungry." Yeah,
All right, and he goes on to say, and every prophet who teaches the truth, if he does not, if he do not what he teaches, is a false prophet. So
yeah,
do
that's
as
also,
I, well, it's a that is a the do as I say, not as I do type of thing. So he's got
yeah,
to do what he says.
yeah,
That's practical advice. Okay. And
Yeah.
every prophet who is approved and true and ministering in the visible ministry of the church, but who teaches not others to do the things that he does himself, shall not be judged of you. For God lieth his judgment. For this in this manner also did the ancient prophecies or the ancient prophets. Okay, maybe I butchered that a little bit, but it's obviously saying that if you're a man of your word, if you're a person of integrity, that
Yeah.
it's clearly going to be seen by your fruit, and that's what that's this is really garnering.
You know,
Yeah, it
I
says, but
told
who?
you, I told you recently that I was reading through the Book of Mormon, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and it's of course a special case, but it had a word that a term I've never heard anywhere else that I find useful, and it's about these leech preachers, you know, in the religion for the money. He called that priestcraft. Isn't that a good word?
Priestcraft.
Priestcraft.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
When Joseph Smith there is uh pointing making a list of bad things like sins, fornication and such, and then priestcraft. And that's exactly what this passage is about. People,
If we
how
could
to
take
spot a
nothing
guy
else,
preach into
preachcraft.
priestcraft.
If we could take nothing else from the
Priestcraft, yeah.
Mormon Church, we've got to take that word.
Yeah,
That word's
priestcraft
gold.
is a great word, isn't it?
All right, let me finish
It
this.
was also
Oh yeah, go
another
ahead.
thing I wanted to tell you from the book that I find hilarious.
Please do.
He was not talking about he was talking about breastplates and head plates, not helmets, head plates.
Head
And,
plates.
yes, breastplates and head plates. When they went into war with the breastplates and the head plates. And what I see is one of those American, student hats, university, what do you call it? Graduation hats
Yeah,
of shiny metal. That's what that's the head plate.
right. Right.
Yeah, I just this has nothing to do with anything. I just
No, it's just joy. It's
before
funny
I
to read.
forget it,
It's funny to
imagine
read
the head plate.
linguistics. Yeah, it's funny to
Yeah.
read linguistics of the late
So you
1800s
take your shield, your breastplate, and your head
and,
plate.
and your head
And then
plate.
you go to
And
war. Head plates.
I'm going to finish this last line. But
Yeah.
whoever shall, oh, sorry, let me make sure I get that lined up. Okay. But whoever shall say in the Spirit, give me money or things of that kind, listen not to him. But if he tell you, but if he tell you concerning others that they are in need and you should give unto them, let no one judge him. Um,
Yeah. You see, that's the
absolutely.
same as the meal. To order a meal in the spirit. You can do it for others, not for yourself.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
think about this, man. I mean, we're all about, Jesus has called us all into being aware and helping out other people. That's just part of our gig. We're supposed to help others, especially less fortunate. Um,
Yeah.
and so it's admiring that, it's admonishing that, but it's when it's a personal aspect. Have you ever heard about the $1,000 shoe club? So there's
No.
this somebody put together. They noticed that all the faith preachers all
All the
had
guys into priestcraft,
all the guys into
right?
priestcraft. Yeah, let's use it. Let's use
Yes.
that. They
Man.
uh they all like somebody was taking pictures of their shoes because they all wore shoes that cost $1,000 or more.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you the link. It's hilarious. And I was like, I make a joke from time to time, but I'll hold up my shoe and like, it's like a $45 Walmart or,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
found it on clearance. I'm like, I need to get these $1,000 shoes, but I only get these $45 ones from Walmart or some shoe store. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty funny how it's all
It,
linked
it
together.
it's a pity though with a way of life and the way of death.
Oh yeah.
I could let's go back to that next time we talk
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's a really good list. But one thing that I found that I because I don't remember the list. It's you know, but one thing that in the end of it was, if you want to be perfect, do all these things. But if you can't, do what you can. And I I was thinking about that, you know, because in Protestant churches, we know that salvation comes from faith and not from works.
Yeah.
So we kind of sometimes we could get like almost allergic to the idea of works because
Yeah.
but it's in the case of salvation. I mean, the rest of the world works like you reap what you sow, right?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
So for example, if you if you go on a diet, for example, and then I think everyone has done this. You have this you have this diet, and then you get someone treats you, gives you something that's not in the diet. And like, let's say you were trying to live on 800 calories a day, for example, and then someone gives you a cookie or something, and you don't want to be rude, and you eat it, and then you think, well, now this day is spoiled.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
just keep on eating. But that is the legalistic way to see it. Like, if I can't fulfill this commandment, I could just go on a roll. Well, in reality, in the real world, if you take one of those cookies and stop there, it's a lot better than if you eat five, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
it's just in your mind that this is one. Oh, well, this day is spoiled. I mean, in reality, we just have a flow of time. We don't have days. Well,
Do
I
you
mean,
think?
we have days, but it's not like a reset button every day.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. Do
yeah,
you find it if do you find it interesting that it's like that's a great point. Like if you indulge, if you indulge in a sin, um, it's
yeah.
one
I
thing to
mean,
we sin every day. Every Christian
yeah.
sins every day, but we live by the grace of God, knowing that we can't do it on our own. That we live and we're forgiven every day by the Savior that we champion and we have. But I think do you find like like if you're chasing after religion, then when you sin do you find it like you just are more apt to indulge? Like would you just run off the beaten path like that, and would you five cookie a day it because, well, why not? Or what do you think about that?
I don't know. But I mean, the mindset of, well, now didn't live up to that, so, well, nothing else matters. And I think what that book says is a pretty good, like, if you want to be perfect, do all these things, but if you can't, do what you can. I mean, it must be
Yeah,
better to do, because it's not everything is about your relation to God. If I owe you $100 and I confess my debt to you to God as a sin, and He forgives me, you can still claim your dollars, can't you? I mean,
yeah. Well,
have
just
you?
because you ask for forgiveness of the debt you owe, you're still to pay your debt back.
Yes.
That's what the Bible
So it's
instructs us
like,
to do, right?
we have I think it's called the term. There's a term, right hand and left hand kingdom. Not not left hand path. That's something else. But when you talk about the right hand or left hand kingdom, the right hand is like, your relation to God, and the left hand kingdom is like your relation to other people. Like, or
Yeah,
sometimes you talk about the horizontal and the diagonal. What's the other word?
vertical.
vertical and horizontal.
Yeah.
So you got the vertical, and that's only grace. Like, yeah, I mean, you, I mean, you can't, uh, you have no chance of living up to the standards of God. But that doesn't give you a free pass in this world where
No.
because here we actually, if you break it, you pay. That's and
Yeah.
I think I saw some YouTube thing where they were a bunch of evangelicals were very critical about the didache because of stuff like that. If you can't, if but if you can't do what you can, but it's just because they see it as a salvation issue. It's not. It's,
It's a
I mean,
limitation issue. Carl, you're not able to do like a woman isn't. Can a woman preach? Yeah. Is she? Should she? No. I'm not according to scripture, because it says that a leader of a church, elder, deacon, must be married to one woman. That eliminates the female from being able to do it. That's not the case we're talking about. However, it doesn't stop a person from still doing something and being in error. Now, at the same time, that's a whole nother topic another day. But I want to bring that up because what are the ramifications of us not following what the Bible says as opposed to, well, I'm going to do it anyway because I know that Christ will forgive me. That's cheap grace. That's doing what we want to do and
that's
thinking
also
that we can
something
get
we
away.
had a term for. Do you remember it?
Oh, I do not.
Grace thieves. Grace thieves.
I got to write that down.
That's, yeah. Or mercy thieves. Grace thieves or mercy thieves.
Okay. What was the term again that you said from the
The Mormon one, the
yeah,
priestcraft.
priestcraft.
Yeah,
Priestcraft.
and that's about
I want to design a head plate.
yeah. Are you writing your wishing list for Christmas there? Uh, I want I want a robe for priestcraft, and I want a head plate to go with my breastplate.
Have you ever
Uh,
seen that picture? I'll throw it up on this episode. There's a picture, um, and we'll put it up right now. But it's going to be it's the if you take the woman described in Song of Solomon literally instead of
yeah, yes,
figuratively, the ugly
yes,
woman. I'll take
Your nose is like the Tower of Lebanon.
yes.
Yes.
I'll have to
And
construct
your
an
belly is like a heap of wheat.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Beautiful.
So I'm
Beautiful.
there's this guy, a Swedish living in exile in America, who has a pod called the America Pod, where he tries to explain why America is like it is. And
Oh, really?
he is he
Okay.
is very much on the progressive side. I find that good for me to hear because, I don't want to be in a bubble. You know,
Yeah.
I, well, I
Well,
mean, mostly I get the very not progressive side. However, that his politics is not an issue here. The issue, what I was going to tell you is that I've been sending a little feedback to him, and also when there's something, because he's not a Christian, and when there's something that he finds is something is relating to Christianity that he when it sounds like a big question mark, I think I'm going to help this guy. Well, I think this is about this and that and that. I
oh,
have explained
gotcha.
some stuff to him that. So then I got
How
a
does he receive it
joke.
real quick? How does he receive you?
Yeah, well, he says, well, interesting, thank you. That's,
Okay.
I mean, he also says that if I am in error, with please tell me. with facts and stuff. So he's I mean, and he
So
also
he's not a
wants.
closed off liberal. He's just progressive in his.
No, he you can talk to him. And so, but he sent me a little joke and said, "You are probably the only one I know that would appreciate this joke." and and I did, and I find it fun, and it has the ring of truth, but I can't explain it. I can't I mean, I couldn't explain why this is fun to anyone else.
Okay, yeah,
Sometimes
I dig what you're saying.
yeah, sometimes the joke goes to your intuition and not to your brain. I mean, you can't. And I want to send you that and see. I mean, you are a pastor, and
Yeah.
see if you find this fun, and see if you can explain why it's fun. I just know it is, but I don't know why.
Are you going to
So
send it to me right now?
yes, I'm gonna do
Please
it
do.
as we talk.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go find it. I'm sending it from a messenger to messenger, so to speak.
I
Because I sent it to a guy today, and I sent it to a guy who is very much into theology, and I got a big laughing face. But he has not uh, commented on it. But I think it was the same for him, that he's like, yeah, that's right. You know,
well,
um,
I might be
have
a pastor, but I have
see if
a really dark sense
yeah.
of humor too.
Let's see where Patrick. Now it's sent to you.
Okay.
So read it and try to explain why this is fun.
Okay. You
It,
ready?
yes,
Is the P supposed to be okay?
P.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
there a
That's
P?
right. Okay. No, no,
No.
no. There was one. Okay. The
Yeah.
unsuspecting Catholic says, is this a mortal sin or just a venial sin? Is it a mortal sin to be okay with doing a venial sin? What if I die tomorrow? Martin Luther stepping out from the shadows. It's all mortal sin. The Catholic. All bad deeds are mortal sins. Martin Luther. Bad deeds, good deeds. Catholic. Good deeds are mortal sins. Martin Luther. No time to explain. It's not safe here. John Calvin descends shrieking from the ceiling.
Yeah, I hear it tickles your bone, but why is this fun? It kind of is.
Oh, that's great. I lost your
It's
picture, by the
something
way.
about that I mean, it's spot on. And I mean, the Catholic, that is it okay? What is a venial sin and what is a mortal sin? And is it oh, is it oh, is it a mortal sin to be okay with a venial sin? You got so much philosophy and stuff in the Catholic, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
and sometimes it pays off. They're really good at defining stuff. Try to find you where I
Hey, turn
lost
your
you. Where
camera
are
back
you?
on, by the way. Yeah, turn your camera
Yeah,
back on. Okay. Uh,
I can't find it. I can't find you at all. I just hear you. What is the app? Where am I? Well, let's see. There I go. Oh, oh, oh. I'm one of the old people.
no, you're good. Why you're figuring, there you go.
Yeah.
What I
Oh,
find
yeah.
it's interesting though, we have to, it's hard to explain to people who are, I want to tell you the story in a second, but it's hard for people to
Yeah.
understand that no matter, okay, the secularized world looks at us as Christians. They
Yeah.
look at Protestant, Catholic, they look at cults, they look at everything in the same heap.
Yeah.
They see they don't
Yeah.
know the difference. They don't know that one's a, they see as prosperity gospel guys or mixed in with us that are not preaching prosperity. So we're all in this heaping group. But if inside the church, Vodi Bakum said this so well. He was like, the church is always going to be the church. You just have to careful with what calls itself the church or something to that effect.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he's right, because when you're talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses, you're talking about the Mormon Church. Well, like when you're reading the Book of Mormon, you were reading it. It's just like the same reason that I read the Quran.
I did
I
too.
find
It's horrible.
it is terrible,
One of
but
the
it's
most boring books I've ever read.
oh
Only the
it
Bhagavad Gita is worse.
it is brutal, but it is you can't know. It's like you can't know the playbook of the enemy if you don't study his
Yes.
literature, right? And
Yeah.
so, and I really learned that from reading the C.S. Lewis book, the Screw Tape Letters. And I
Yeah.
realized it was
Yeah,
like,
that's a great book.
oh, yeah, great book. It should be part of every believer's small library. If they only have a handful of books, it should be one. But there was so like it was a week ago. It was 2 weeks ago today. I had the Jehovah's Witness came to my door. I knew it was them. I knew it was them because Jehovah's Witnesses dress differently, okay, than the Latter Day Saints, the
Yeah.
Mormons.
Yeah.
They haven't come to my house because I live on a street that's the speed limit is 55 miles an hour. It's not a highway. But
Yeah.
it's a county road. And so I
Yeah.
don't have people stopping. There's no traffic stops here, right? Which is great.
Yeah.
So I don't get people soliciting stuff. Anyway, I hear a rap at the door. Man, I'm in like a sleeveless shirt, my sleeping shorts. I was relaxing. I go to the door. My dog Dex is barking, um, and he says, he opens the door. I walk outside, and he's like, "This is his." We small talk for a second. He just wants to get my attention, wants to be nice, and I appreciated that. And then he goes, "Well, here's his pitch. Ready for his pitch?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
world the world is a real scary place these days, and we're just kind of going around talking to people about how much of a mess it is and how we can find a way through it. And so I talked to my neighbor because they had another group of people go to their house, same
Yeah.
church, and they did the same thing. So what their lead in is what is fear. They're
Yeah.
looking for people who are fearful of the shit that's going on in the world, and they want to jump
Yeah.
on that train. Well,
Yeah.
okay, it's genius. It's a genius ploy, even though it's absolutely dark, because that's not what biblical Christianity is. Biblical Christianity is preaching love, the gospel of the forgiveness of sins of Christ, because we have to teach the love of God and the wrath of God. We're not fearing
Yeah.
hell or the mankind. We're fearing the wrath of God, and that produces the fear of hell. If we understand
Yeah.
who God is, right? So
Yeah.
again, it's
Yeah.
simplifying what it's. But anyway, we get to talking, and I tell him, man, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the stuff that's going on, man. I said I'm a believer, filled with the Spirit of God, so I know I have a calm in me. I just kind of give him that. Tone changes. He's
Yeah.
not interested anymore. He's, wow, you know a lot about the. I said, well, I'm a pastor, and he's like, oh, okay. So that pretty well is going to end this conversation, and I'm cool with that because I'm not really dressed or in the mood to sit out there and have a bar. But I'm like, I really wanted to go further with him, and I thought he would take it further, but he was done. And he has a protege with him, this lady. And I said, well, "Wait a minute, man. You don't have to bail out," because he's like, "Oh, well, we'll let you go for the day." I said, "Hold on a minute, time out." I said, why don't Jesus is very active. Why don't we just pray right now that the Lord would intervene?" He goes, "No, we prayed this morning. We're good."
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna
Okay,
tell
so
you something.
so then he leaves, and all I wanted to do, man, at that moment, Carl, real quick, and I want you to jump in.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was that he rushed her off the porch. He's like, "No, no, we're
Yeah.
not going to pray. We're good." And I'm like, "Wait a minute." And
What are you
the
afraid of? You know.
right, I wanted to do the Joe Dirt uh, with Kid Rock when he's running away. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
wait a minute. What did I make you cry? Did I make you cry? Better run, sissy boy. Def Leppard sucks. Anyway, yeah, so it didn't go the way I was really hoping it would go. But that just shows you that they're not interested because that's the
No.
separation. You test the
Yeah.
spirit is what the Bible tells us. All right.
Yeah. So, my parents, when they were young, when we were like babies, me and my brother, they had a lot of Jehovah's Witness uh, coming to them.
Oh,
and they one of these days they invited them in, and they had like a very long talk, and they really felt, like they were, after that they were like, cry, they were like very down. They're like they had a spiritual attack. So they went to this guy in their congregation who was like a, not a theologian, but a lay theologian, one of those guys that reads the Bible backwards and forth and upside down, one of those guys. And he lived in a little cottage, and they wanted to, next time they come, we want to be armed, you know. So and I'm not talking about the AR-15 here, I'm just
no.
saying that.
Talking
Yeah.
about being
So
armed with the word of God. Yep, I get it.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Uh, so they went to this guy, and they went, "Hey, teach us everything that we need to know to counter the Jehovah's Witnesses." And so he went to his bookshelf where he had Bibles, rows of Bibles, and he took out his Jehovah's Witness Bible, not their translation, but he had a Bible for every topic. So he had, if there was if he had a marriage Bible, everything underlined in that Bible would be concerning to marriage. So he took his
Yeah,
topic Bible of Jehovah's Witnesses. So you have your bookshelf, and every book is the same. And
that's
it's just like, uh, I just love. And my dad said, and he put his glasses on down on his nose, and he, well, so let's go through the scriptures, and they felt like little kids. But next
yeah.
time they came, they were armed. But I just love the idea of, let's take out the Jehovah's Witness topic Bible. Oh,
Let's
you want to talk
see
about the
how they.
Mormons? Well, then it's on this shelf
Right,
here.
right. And yeah, the Mormons
So
have
he had a
three
bunch of
additional
Bibles.
books. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember the topic, the Book of Mormon, and then there's two other ones. But yeah, they have their books of theology, and they've tried to do everything they can to kind of support themselves. Well, the thing about it, though, brother, and I once heard this, from this guy. He said, maybe I've shared this with you before. I don't remember, but there's a guy that I learned a lot from. He was an elder with me at the church for quite a while, and recently retired from it, but he worked in the banking industry in America, and what they
Yeah,
taught them was to go to the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve has a branch in Kansas City,
yeah,
and when they were training them for the banking industry, they would send them
yeah,
to Kansas City. Now,
yeah,
what they had them do was take $100 bill and they had to memorize it. Okay,
yeah.
just memorize it. And forward and backward. And they didn't really understand why they were memorizing the $100 bill. His point
Like
was
everything on it, every little detail, right?
every detail, every watermark,
Yeah,
every inscription, because he says if you memorize the $100 bill, you will be able to catch when there is a fake $100 bill presented to you,
yeah,
because there will be things missing. And he used that as a understanding reading the Bible. It's like if we read the Word
yeah,
of God more, we're going to understand whenever we see something. But like the Word of God tells us to test the spirits. It says if there's somebody who's false, like a false prophet, a false
yeah.
word, a false something, is to test the spirit.
You just wait to see if he stays 3 days.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's not it doesn't the evil doesn't fall far. But if you don't know the word, if you don't spend any time reading or widening the knowledge of your mind, you're never going to learn these things. And so I find it very not consuming. I find it a joy to read more and to
yeah,
learn more about other religions because I want to know
yeah,
their
yeah,
playbook. I want to know their playbook.
yeah.
Not to say that I
I
have to have it, but I'd like to know it a little bit.
I have studied the occult when
Yeah.
I when we were making the Aurum booklet. There's a lot of symbols and stuff in there. we wanted it to look like mystical, like, you know. But
Did you get any blowback for that?
oh yeah, yeah,
I
we
bet.
of course. What?
Yeah, I said, I bet. I bet you did.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so but I can I like the aesthetics of it, but I want to know exactly what everything means and why it's there. If I do something, I can't just take a thing that looks cool. I want to know. So what's my point with this? I mean, we have there's a line of hieroglyphs. There are all the symbols from everything, from alchemy, from So yeah, I've
Yeah.
studied it, just to
Ha,
and
ha,
I what I find is that it's all the same.
yeah, it is.
And we start you look at different religions and it's all the same except for Christianity. It's like they pretty much quote the same thing in different words in all these different systems. And the thing that stands out is Christianity. It's something totally different.
Right. And every one of them, people will say, oh, well, all you guys are the same, but there's obviously a big difference. And we could go on for hours about
Yeah,
about
it's
how,
not a big difference between
but why?
A,
Why is that? Well, people
B,
don't
C, D,
realize it.
and E. Yeah,
Nope. But because we know that Satan is always trying to mock or mimic the truth,
yeah,
but he will always fall short. So what seems to be the similarity is actually a false and very menial copy, and it's not. It
yeah,
never rises up. That's why his number is 666. That's why God's number is
yeah,
777. Is because it will always fall short, even in its attempt to look similar. Well, this is. I wanted to tell you, and I'm going to send you the link to it. If you've never read Kingdom of the Colts by Walter Martin, there was an
okay,
up. It was originally published in 1965, but there's an updated version that I really want you to audiobook. You can find it pretty cheap, but it's
yeah,
called Kingdom. I'll send you the title, the book cover, but
yeah,
check
yeah,
it out.
yeah,
Walter Martin went after every one of the Colts, but with an educated understanding of each one of them.
yeah,
Fascinating book. It's a
yeah.
go-to as well. But yeah, yeah. He
So
he was on. He was the one that was on TBN, the Trinity Broadcast Network, which is a big prosperity gospel network.
yeah,
He went on. He was invited to come on to TBN once,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that episode,
Once. I
and
I
that
can see
episode.
where this is going.
Oh, brother, he
Yeah,
called out the
yeah,
owner of the TBN. He called on the show near the end. He called him out, and the owner isn't on the show. They had a guest guy, but the he called him out, and they were like, commercial break." It was hilarious.
so
You can, and then so it's on YouTube, and it's like grainy because it was on somebody recorded it on
yeah,
like a
yeah,
VHS tape and then uploaded it, but it's great. If you just have nothing else but the audio, I'll send it to you as well. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
brother, we could talk all day about this. We might have to do a part two on the craziness of the false
Yeah,
prophets.
we also have to go back to the DHA with the two ways because that's great stuff.
I would
Look at
like to
that.
do, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. I wrote it down. I am going to do my research on the Didache. I was very familiar with it, but didn't spend much time with it. I loved what
Yeah,
you sent me. I read the entire, those 5, 6 pages of what you
yeah,
sent me.
yeah.
But I'd like to do a little bit more because that comes from the first century, and I think that's something that we
Yeah, that's
should.
really old. I mean,
It sure
really old.
is. Let's dive into that on the next episode of Transatlantic, shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Can I end with another little
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness story?
Yeah.
Do we
Take us
have
out with it.
time for that?
Yeah, take us out with it.
I don't know who these were. It's something that I heard when I was a kid, and I can't remember what congregation it was, but it was a congregation in Sweden that had big problems with, I mean, they were harassed by the Jehovah's Witnesses, all the members in the congregation. So one day they went to the Kingdom Hall or whatever you call it. Yeah, the Jehovah's Witness Church.
Yes.
They walked
With
around
no
it and
windows,
they
by the way. No windows. They don't
What?
have windows in their churches. Their buildings are windowless.
Oh, not here.
Oh, they are here in America. Yeah. I'll have to send you some
The Jehovah's
pictures.
Witness. Are
Yep.
you sure it's not the Plymouth Brothers? No?
Nope. The Jehovah's
Okay.
Witnesses church, the Kingdom halls here have no windows. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. So they went to the Kingdom Hall and they walked around among the cars and they took all they took down the registration numbers, the number plates on the cars,
Yeah. Yeah.
found out who had them, read up on the Bible, knocked on their doors in the morning, and well, they never came back. Let's say, you know, when they got the same because they come to you, you are totally unprepared and they have been studying up on their stuff and they know and if he says this I counter with this and this. But when you knock at their doors early in the morning and
That's genius.
just doing the same thing back, they just never came back. You know,
I
like
love
they
that.
gave up on that people. Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
religious jujitsu. I mean, I mean, you redirect, you take the force of the other and redirect.
Yeah, it's
It's not,
genius.
yeah, and I kind of like that.
I do too. Well, Carl, always a spirited conversation with you, brother. And
Yeah,
everybody, thanks for tuning in to TransAtlantic this week. And we appreciate you. And please go back and check out some of our other episodes. And we'll continue to pump these out as often as we can. Hey, look at that. We got one done on a Monday. It worked
yeah,
out.
that,
Carl, tell everybody adios.
yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Goodbye.
everyone. Till the next time.